Good morning, everybody. I am just working here in Character Creator 4, creating some characters for a little animated movie I'm going to be doing. I'm going to scroll through, see if I have some base characters that I can set up here. Going to be working on a child, a sickly blonde child that's home in bed. Probably start with an adult here. Let me see with my base characters here. Just maybe I can go from this character and turn it into this 10-year-old or so, 10-year-old boy. We'll see what happens. I have I'm creating a storyboard based on using images from Midjourney, which gives me the idea for the look and feel and everything I need to do for it, which will save me some time. But of course I'm guiding it 100%. It's not generated by AI as far as what I'm doing. But I put in the input of the things that I want, the way I want it to look and so on, and it lets me see what that is. So I'm better, guided, I guess, to what I need to make and how it needs to look and what it needs to consist of. Just letting this finish updating its data here. And this is a live chat, so if you have anything to say, go ahead and do so. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to go into our modify panel, as long as everything will cooperate here. Seems to be lagging for some reason. There we go. And we're going to see about I've got a preset. If not, then we'll do it, totally from scratch manually. We're going to kind of go about like so, and I'm going to start making this guy skinny. I'm going to find some of these sliders and turn them down. Just typing in some stuff here. Alright, not a bad start. Let's go back to the head here. A little thinner on the face. Not too thin. That's a little weird. And let's jump up here and see kind of where we're at. And it's not bad. I want to make him very, where you feel sorry for him. So I'm going to go specifically with his jaw now. Let's go ahead and I got my cat talking this morning. Sorry about that if you guys are hearing it. She's very vocal lately. I think she might be having a I need to get outside and make some friends problem. So we're just going to see if we can lesser define the jaw here. I might have to go back and, for some reason this is taking a while to update my movements here. I'm not sure why. But I might have to come in here and unthin the face just a little bit. I don't mind the face being so thin, but there's maybe some of that. Looks a little bit better. Maybe come in here to the chin and changing the scale of that because it looks a little square. There we go. Now we're talking. It's taken a bit of noticing to update. I keep coming over here and seeing who's involved or who's watching or if anybody. I want to make this child look a little sad overall. Let's see what we can do. I'm going to go into this headshot area here, and this gives us a lot of smaller details on his face. I also want to see if there is a okay, that's fine. I mean, it's not bad, but I think his cheekbones are a little pronounced. So let's go ahead here and see if anything comes up there for that. It does not specifically, so we're going to go back into here. There we go. We're going to kind of bring these in a little bit. The height is a little... probably okay. The width is probably the thing I'm worried about the most. Probably can unthin his face just a little bit now. I do want him to look like a child, not a emaciated zombie kid, so let's see if I can give him just a little bit of roundness, but not too much. See. There we go. That's more what I'm talking about. I think his chin is still a little bit too square. See what we can do about that. It might be just the jaw itself. Let's see. Depth. Turn here and kind of get a better look. I think that's okay. Obviously there's something going on with my jaw. You can see how it kind of curves in a little extra there. We want to definitely fix that, and don't want a chin dimple or cleft. Lower define. I'm going to lessen that. Excuse me. So there's something about the jaw that's a little strange here. So we're going to go in specifically to it. That's not bad. Probably going to roll with this for the moment, and then we'll come back. I'm thinking about giving him his nose a little bit more of a turn up at the end. Not like a turnip, but a turn up. Let's see, there's angle. No, we don't need to worry about that. Just undo. Let it catch up with itself, being very strange. It's really slow this morning. I don't have anything open I know of. Let's see. Width, nose, depth, ridge angle. So there's a lot of things that can be changed in here. Tip scale, tip height, tip width, scale height. Let me see. I'm looking for there we go. Nose tip angle. Let's try to turn it up just a little bit without making him too. I think that works perfectly there. All right. So now let's go back over to our skin. I'm going to see what we can do here. I want to give him some dark circles around his eyes, basically. Might need to go into here. Decals, let's find out. I'm sorry if there's anything offensive. Let's see if we can go, maybe this one might take this back off. I'm just kind of giving him some dark circles around the eyes. Hopefully it will do what I'm looking for. This first time of jumping into these skin details here, so we're going to add. It takes a little bit longer than it will for anything else, but then when we jump back out, it'll take a minute again. It's just opening up all the skin layers that are being used. That did not include that for some reason. Let's just go ahead. Looks like it did it anyway. It's saying it didn't, but there's probably one bit of it that it didn't include. Let's see here. That's all fine. Let's move down to the face. See what's going on there. These are whole faces. Let's just try skin noise. Yeah, let's give him some skin noise because that's going to wind up breaking up his skin tone a little. I mean, he's going to have some capillary action and some other stuff going on because he's not entirely healthy. That's the whole point of this video. Check this coloration here. It says dull skin. Let's see what that'll do. Let's add, see what happens with the eyes again. Oh yeah, now we're getting there. Blah, blah, blah. We're not going to see him without a shirt. I don't think we need this hemoglobin here, but let's find out. See what it does for his cheeks. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. That works for me. Let's try this dull skin here because this is going to also add some more thickness, a little bit more to his face. I think that looks pretty good. We don't want to make him look like a zombie or anything, so I can go in and pull some of these back if I want to. Little capillary action, maybe just something like this added to the cheek area. We can pull these back if they look too bad, but I think that's all okay. And he does not need to be shiny or anything like he's got a fever, because I think that'll just be more disturbing than anything. He doesn't need body hair because that would be weird. Nails, all that's fine. No tattoos or anything. So let's see what I have just in by way of hair that's already pre-made. I think I'm going to go with something like that, and a little, probably no beards, you know, given that he's 10. This mid-length male hair, maybe, but I kind of want something a little more floppy if we can find it, that I have in my pre-existing stuff here. I'm trying not to give him the Karen haircut. Sorry, guys. Let's find out what is here. There's not a lot, but some of this, there might be something that works. It's got to look like a little boy, though. That's the whole point. I've got some other stuff and another one we'll check here real quick, but I might go, there's a side swept hair that I'm considering, but it might look a little too girly. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. Could do, so that one's way too side swept. And I don't want it to look too combed because he's been laying in bed. I mean, something like this might be what we're looking for. I'm going to go ahead and put this on. It's going to end the skin gen session, which is what I was telling you about, the layers of the skin and stuff, so it takes a minute to back out of that. Probably going to have to make this kid some pajamas because I don't believe I have any. That will all be through Marvelous Designer. Pretty simple pants and shirt, and then we just go give it a material and some design on it, like dinosaurs or something like that. See, that here is not bad, but not great. I don't really sympathize with this child. He looks a little bit more like the kid from Mad Max that looked a little bit like Chaka. I actually think I became friends with him today. The adult the adult actor from the child actor from that show. Yeah. But I think that hair's kind of okay, but it's a little big, a little weird. It's not horrible, but it's almost a little scary. Let's find out, though, if we have some other hair in my custom hair here. Let's see, where is that? Right here. This one would probably be really good, actually. So let's go ahead and delete from our scene that hair for now, because it's a little crazy, and we'll try this one on him. Might be a little more appropriate, I think. I think that looks a little better. Scroll down and see what else there might be. I'm going to use a few of these others on some other kids. But I think that one's probably acceptable. We're going to change its color, though. We're going to modify and into our textures here. And this will be for the curtain's hair, the color, and we'll just come down in here. This is something new they've added where you can activate the hair color and go in here to each one of these and do these root and in color and everything, which is nice. So we'll just kind of do something like sort of a brownish color for the root. You can already see it adjusting his hair a bit. Then the in color, we're going to go with a real kind of lighter non-green and something along like this sandy color maybe. I think I need to make the root though still lighter if he's going to be kind of blondish. It's a bit yellow still though, huh? So something maybe like that, I don't know. It's not bad. There's highlight colors we can use. There's got some brown in there. I think I'm going to go with a more maybe a little more of a reddish highlight like that. This is highlight color B, which we're already pretty much using. Let's see, because the kid's kind of a towhead, we'll just go with the brighter color and something along those lines. And I think maybe in color is fine, but let's make this color here a bit darker, probably a little more reddish yellow. I think that's looking a lot better. I can live with that. The circles around his eyes are just a little bit more than I want. He's kind of cute, but he's got this little bit of a zombie vibe going we don't really want. And I think his cheeks are a little too sunken at this point also. I'll go back in here into the head, probably in the cheeks, I think, and cheekbone depth, that's fine. Cheek hollow, that's the one that's just a little too much, and I need to figure out where that was going to be. Probably in the head or full head. I think it was from thin. Yeah, so this is a little much. This one is a little much still. So a little more like that. I think he's probably a bit cuter. His eyes shape I don't really care for. They're a little, I don't know, something about his eye shape I'm not digging. Maybe it's just because of the coloring around him. That's easy enough. We just go into this skin gen session again. We activate the editor, and it's going to take a minute to kind of pump up here. It's got to open up all these different layers. And that's going to take a minute. Whoops, very sorry. Hopefully we don't have a buzz going now. This microphone has a little bit of an issue. If I bump the cable just right, it starts humming. All right, so here is our little session. I think this eye decal, if I back off on the opacity, it's not really that one so much. It's going to be dull skin eye. I'm just going to back up on that one a bit. I think he still looks sick, but he doesn't look like that. So a little bit of it is okay. Might actually wind up doing away with that layer altogether now that I think about it. We'll just trash it. Selected layer. Boom. Goodbye. So it's got a little bit of this going on. Just want to make sure it's not overstated and ridiculous. Here's another dull eye. So a little bit like that. I think that is more appropriate to where he doesn't look like a horror monster or anything. I'm going to pull back the cheek capillaries just a little bit too. I want that all very subtle to where, you know, you feel bad for him, but you don't, you know, it's not scary. I think that's pretty important. We'll jump back out of that session. All right, and here we are. And kind of take a look at what's here. I'm going to look in the content here just to see what clothes we have. There may be something that is usable. That's custom stuff I was doing. Let's see. Don't want to worry about any of that. And this is always possible. Let's see what we have for pants. All these are pretty much not really what I would want. They're a little tight for one. So I mean a t-shirt would be fine for him, but the pants, not really what I'm looking for. So I'll have to go make him pants. Because as long as I can make things, I'm definitely not going to go buy it if I can make it. Makes it, you know, convenient to be able to buy it, but we're not doing that right now. So here he is. He obviously needs some weight painting, not weight painting, but the weights to be calculated a little better. And that's not right there. And we'll just go here to modify and try this conforming. We'll calculate the collision a little better on this, I hope. In fact, let's just go into the cloth layer settings, run the collisions on it. Seems to be that's where it wants to be. I'm going to put this though at a level 2. That's on a 6. There's no point of that. We put it on 2 or 3 because he's just going to have pants on besides this, and at some point he will have like maybe some outdoor snow boots or something like that. And we'll run the collision again, see if it changes it. It doesn't seem to. So now what we can do is go and do the smooth mesh on it. Right. I can't remember where it is. Where is that? Was that in conform? I don't think so. It is here, of course, and that's fine. But there was one I thought for the clothing too. Just find out. And there we go for this one. And it looks a little bit better. And I think he looks alright. Doesn't look as sad though as I want him to look. Looks a little too hopeful in my opinion. Now granted, I can always give him the expression to look sad, which is fine. But I almost want his eyes to be a little bit bigger. Let's try some stuff. Let me see here. Let's see if I can go with eyes. I scale. Maybe just a little bit bigger like that. Kind of want them to be a little bit closer together maybe. No, he looks a little dumb like that, so maybe about there. I think his forehead is a little square. I think that's something I'm having kind of a problem with. Maybe it's the brow. That's not bad. I also kind of don't like this area there. So I'm trying to figure out where that would be. Maybe in the skull width. Nope, that's the back of the head, but we can pull that in just a little bit. It's not bad. Just gonna check that though to make sure I'm not making anything weird there. I think that's okay. Doesn't look wrong. Yeah, that little bone right there is what I'm not liking. So let's just check here. That's forehead, eye. Maybe there's an eye outer width. Let's see if... No, that's the actual eye itself, so we'll just undo that. This is going to be probably... I don't know if that's cheeks. I don't think so. Let me see, cheek. That's bone height, and that's definitely not it. This is more to do with the brow, it seems like. So brow width, center, depth, angle. Let's see if on headshot brow we've got outer width. It's a little bit but it still doesn't seem to be pulling that one area that I want. There is a way to go in and sort of sculpt this. I just got to be careful that I don't screw up my eyes there. Could try it, and basically that would be making sure he's selected, and I go in here and I can add the mesh for starters. There is a sculpt mode. I don't use it a lot because, well, let's just make sure we're going in the negative here, and that we have our symmetry turned on. If there is symmetry, there should be symmetry. Mirror X, that's the one I'm looking for. Just kind of smash his head like that. That's not horrible. Let me come out of this and see if it looks horrible. Yeah, that's not bad. This looks a little odd right there. Let's go back in there one more time. Where is it? There we go. Smooth that a little bit now. So blah, blah, blah. Sculpt. Smooth. I'm going to make this a lot smaller. Turn our strength down. And just kind of adjust those a bit. And we are still mirrored, so that's a good thing. See how that's going. I think that worked pretty good. I think his chin is still a little bit tall or something going on there. I'm not really liking that, so we'll just go back to our chin here. Upper height, increase height. Width, depth. I might have to go with jaw height on this one. Draw scale, jaw height. So I think that looks a little more meek, cuter, a little more innocent, which is kind of how we want him. I'm also going to give him some eyebrows because those painted on ones are just a little bit weak. So go back into here. Gotta be careful that I don't give him old man crazy wizard eyebrows like I've got. But let's see what I've got here. Let me come out of the skin and stay just in the hair here. See what's going on. Some eyebrows. Let's just give him something and see what happens. Kids have this sort of raggedy, I don't pluck my eyebrows or shape my eyebrows thing going on, don't they?
Yeah, it's nice.
Okay, that was me as a kid right there. It's a little too much. Let's swap those out. As soon as it lets go and lets me do it. I think that's a little too, might be a little too much. I'm just looking for shape here, so those are a little strong. See that, or I go back and give him some female eyebrows. I think those are a little strong, a little large. I don't know why it takes so long for the eyebrows to work, but or to let go once they've been applied. Don't know if that's my computer or if that is the program itself. Just looking to see here if there's something else that need to look into. I think that's kind of where we're at. I'm going to see though if there is well, let's adjust the color at first and find out if that takes care of what I'm worried about. Base color. There we go. Let's go back up here though to the actual color that we can adjust. There's parameters, textures, base color, strand color. These are a little dark for my taste. So that's all right. That's the root color. A little darker maybe. And then we'll do the actual end color, in my opinion again. A little lighter. Something like that. It's not so bad once it's lighter. It's not bad. We can check on some of the stuff for the face real quick. Just testing out some of the motions and making sure they're not bad. I think that all works just fine. I think this is a auto save that's working overtime here a little bit, but okay, so we do have a little bit of an issue with him looking left. I think that has to do with me pulling out or smashing in the edge of his eye a bit before. You can see if it goes too far, that's going to do that, which we don't want. So we'll come back out and adjust that mesh a little bit on his side of his eye. As soon as it lets go and lets me do it. And get that taken care of. It's just taking here a second for it to let go. I'm sure it's because it's auto saving. You can see there's a little bit of an edge of his eyelid here that is kind of a little bit too far pushed in. So that's an easy fix. We just go to the modify here, or right here, and we go down to where it says edit mesh and pull this edge out a little bit. I'm going to turn on my soft selection. That way when I select here, you can see it's soft selecting, but that's just way too large. So we pull this back. We're just going to get an area like that, and then we can use our move tool and slightly pull that eyelid area out to where that's not going to be penetrating the eyeball at all. And hopefully, especially when we turn the eye, let's say to the left again, it's not going to be doing that either. I'm kind of really hoping I have my mirror turned on here. Doesn't look like it, so I'm going to probably have to go and do this on the other side as well. Let me just try and find where this penetrates the most here. You can see, trying to zoom in here slightly, and it's being kind of a little bit difficult. Just trying to find a piece of this that you can see that once it's penetrating there, and here it's not. So just a matter of getting that out. And we can see our tear line come back, and I think that's okay. I'm going to turn off our soft selection real quick and see if I can, there we go, pull up that little vertex there. My gizmo is actually getting in my way to be able to see what I'm doing. And our autosave, yay. So yes, if I have a live chat going, if you have anything you'd like to say or comment or anything like that, let me know, please. And I'll be sure to try and answer you. And let's just go with this, see how that goes. I think that side is probably okay. I don't believe I have my mirror turned on, but that's okay. Just double checking. Mirror tolerance, ignore back faces. That was just in the sculpt. I had it on before. Okay, that is fine. I can copy that side over to that side, and now we have the mirror, it mirrored over, I should say. Should be okay. Let's find out. We'll come back out here, and hopefully won't have this. Okay, we do have kind of an issue. Let's go back and see if it'll let me undo it. I think that's okay. There is still a tiny bit of an eyelid issue, but I'm going to fix that with within the facial profile editor here, as opposed to trying to just adjust the whole mesh. So if we get into our blinks here, you can see they are totally fine, which is good. But the eyeball, waiting for this thing is crazy. Looking left does pop through. We're not ever going to turn it probably that far, but this is how we fix that. We just go into our right here, open modify, morph, and if we want to, we can go with the eye here and look for the outer width left. If we need to, we can always pull that out a little bit like that, and then we go back into the facial profile editor and we do a little quick update on that. So now, once it saves, You can see that it's perfectly fine here. And once it lets me, I can move this slider back and it will morph into this shape when I make that eye go over there without destroying the expression. And we'll do the same for both eyes, just making sure all these expressions work correctly once it updates here and lets go so that I can finish working on him, which I hope happens sometime today. Because right now this is taking a lot longer than I expected. Okay, cool. So now you see it actually morphs over to account for that eyeball putting over there. This will be our left eyeball looking right, which seems to be okay. Looking out, looking down, and looking up. Those all seem relatively okay. It looks like I still do have a little bit of an issue right there, and that's just a matter of, once again, going in and editing that mesh, and then everything will be good to go from there. I'm trying to see how long I've been broadcasting. My Streamlabs had a time. Oh, here we go. Been going about 45 minutes. All right, so with this, I can always come in here to edit mesh again. And now I can see, hey, I want to move this up a little. Right there. Make sure I'm selecting that particular vertex. And then pulling it out. It doesn't seem like that's the one I wanted, though. Just trying to find a particular one that needs to come up and cover that little area. This autosave is killing me. Alright, that's what I wanted right there. And so now when we go back out of Edit Mesh and back into the facial profile here, should be much better how that's supposed to go. Now let's find out if this side is working appropriately. So this will be right eyeball look right, and that one pops out a little bit too, so we do need to adjust the morph a little bit here. So this is going to be eye left, or I'm sorry, eye right, and we can always go IR or I width, I think. I width left. Whoops, my bad. I right outer is what we want. I outer, and it's going to be I outer width right is what we're looking for. So this will give us this much more natural shape there. So when we go back into the profile editor, we can save that quick update to the morph. It's real simple. I mean, it took me forever to kind of get this with this particular program, but once I did, it's kind of second nature now. I need to do a whole series of tutorials probably on it, because this program, if you're doing humans and humanoid animation, and especially if you're creating humans, then starting with these human bases, they're all set up, they're rigged. It's just a huge time saver, and they look fantastic. You can apply animations to them directly, FBX animations, Mixamo animations. You can do all of your own, but see, you can see how that morphs when the eyeball moves over now. So those are pretty good. Lots of auto-saving, very strange. There's not that much stuff going on with this kid, but I kind of would like to make him look a lot more sad, though. He kind of looks more like that punk kid with an attitude, and that's not really what I want to go for, but he's okay. Because eventually he's going to have a happier face like this, but we can give him sad expressions throughout. Let's make sure that the right eyeball looking is okay. The blinks still work just fine. Looks like they're great. And the nose, we do a little scrunch. It's pretty good. Flank raise, we can do both of those at the same time. That's pretty good. Flank raise right and left. Nostrils flare, that works. Check our cheeks now. Cheek raise left, right. Cheeks suck in. There we go. Puff out. So you have all this control. And some strange teeth in there. Let's see. Looks good. Just make sure our head turns are okay. There's something up with that chin that's not great. That needs to be definitely smoothed. We'll go back and do that here in a bit. Make sure the brow raise and drops are fine. I think everything looks pretty good. I think that's all good. So we'll come back out of the expression editing there and let that catch up with itself one more time. So comment, like, subscribe. Tell me what you like and what you don't. Ask questions. That's really what I mean. If you don't like something, then just go away. Just kidding. There'll be more of these live streams on here. More, definitely some more tutorials that I'll be doing. So everything will be updating and so on. I think he looks pretty good. Let's go ahead. He's got no pants on, so I'm trying to save you guys from having to look at that. Let's just go ahead and get him an idle motion here, see kind of what he's looking like that way. I think that's all right. Looks pretty good. Let me try, for the moment, let's just try male walk. And still trying to save the decency of the figure here. It's a little older than I probably want. That's easy enough to deal with because it's just a matter of going back in here to the body and changing his where's the baby? Let me see if I can find it. Whoops. The baby we can up just a little bit more. And it makes this guy a little bit younger, which I think is more what I'm looking for. Needs to be a young kid you just really kind of feel sorry for. Looks good. What do you think?
Oh, he's cute.
Anything you think I should change? White or blonde, or?
I think lighter blonde.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I like the little.
The images I made.
Yeah.
All right, so let's try that. I was thinking the same thing. So let's figure out how to do that. Let's go with. There we go. The hair. And right now, we're trying to use the strand color to do this. I think I'll just make this one quite a bit whiter. This base blonde color, the brown a little bit more, and the yellows. Not so strong though. Kind of like that. Even make that in color. Maybe even a little more white like that. It's not bad. Is that better, in your opinion? Highlight color should probably be not so white.
Yeah, I was going to say more golden, yellowy kind of blonde. It's a little ashy.
How about that? That's better, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll try highlight color A. A little bit of that reds underneath. Kinda. I think that's better. See what he looks like there. Okay, now I need to make this kid some pants, probably. So we're gonna go ahead and give him a pose. Probably let's give him just a T pose, and export him out. I think from here, just go ahead and say the scene. That looks fine. I'm just going to call him boy for now. We only need, we don't really need his clothes, so I'm just going to export him, I suppose, as a without clothes, just the selected. He's not going to wind up having probably eyeballs or anything in the other version of this. We just want the mesh, and we're going to say don't worry about the textures. That's fine. So hopefully this will work. If not, I'll have to put him in the iClone and go from there. I think I had to do that last time. And let's go into, let me find a folder here for this. I think I already have it. But if not, we'll just make one here. And we'll stick him in here. Boy dummy for MD. I don't know Bumpy is, but that was supposed to be boy dummy for MD. And we'll click save. This is going to export him out from Marvelous Designer. I don't know if you guys saw any of my stuff there, but as far as I know you can't, which is okay for me. You don't need to be seeing in my folders. Last I checked. And then we can take a second here, open up Marvelous Designer, work on a little bit of clothing for him. I kind of like the t-shirt he's got here, but we might make him a new one. Just depends. Find out. I'm just going to log in real quick. Once this opens, I'll swap our view over to our other program here. So our window capture is going to wind up jumping over to that. And let me just bring in the boy. So import FBX. Hopefully this will work. Had some other stuff not work this way and had to go and do it from what was it? What did I say? iClone. So this, I think, is okay. Everything that's set up here, I'm just gonna say okay. He might be too big, or too small, which I've had problems with too, coming from Marvelous Character Creator. We'll see. Okay, there he is. That was fine. I didn't really want to bring in the hair and all that mess, but it seems to have done that anyway. I wonder if I can delete or get rid of that. I know though we're going to go with monochrome surface here. It did bring in the shirt, which I'm going to see if I can just delete, which I cannot. So we're going to try this one more time. And in here, let's see if I can just export this out. Maybe as an OBJ. Nude character and bind pose is probably what I want. Y up, full body. Eyes, teeth, whatever. No materials. Maybe it won't take the hair, which would be best. And let's go back to our folder here. You guys can't see this, but that's okay. It's a good thing. Trust me, you don't want to see what I have on this computer. And we'll go to here. We'll call this Dummy Boy for MD. And that's going to be an OBJ file. And we're just getting him re-exported from Character Creator. And back here in Marvelous Designer now, we're going to try once again importing this OBJ. And let me go back to the F drive there and back to his folder. This is just part of the process. That's my object, I think, the correct one. This should be no clothes, maybe without hair, which would be best. It just said applying skin suit. That was just weird. Okay, so here we go. That's what I wanted, and we are in a monochromatic mode, which is good. It's more, well, appropriate for one. Let's make him some little pajama pants, and that's going to be pretty easy to do. We're just going to start drawing with polygon here, our polygon tool. These are going to be approximately that wide. Go to here, to here. I want these a little bit saggy on the leg, and like that. That should work anyway. And we're going to take these, make sure in the 3D view that they're somewhat closer to the body, because that'll just make it easier when they snap. They don't do anything weird. And looks like I got to straighten up this bottom leg here. We go into our edit pattern tool and start moving some points around like that. Looks good. We're going to edit our curvature of this section here. That should really be more like that. Looks like we are a little small because some of my resolution for that curve looks a little bit not as curvy as it should be. You can see there's a little what you call it there, a little angle that normally wouldn't be. It's all right. Let's go ahead and duplicate this. So we'll copy and paste it over here. This will be our back side eventually. We're going to move this back in the 3D view. Like so. Those will be stitched together, and how they're going to get stitched together is we're going to use our segment sewing tool and stitch this side to this side to this side. That's just to start with. I want to make a waistband for this here real quick as well. Make it elastic. So now we're going to take these two pieces. We're going to start with the front one, and we're going to make a symmetrical pattern with sewing. That one will be the left side, and then we'll do the same thing with the back piece. And then we have to sew those guys to each other. So this will go here to here from the back. This will go here to here from the front. And that's all there is. I need to make a waistband, which will be smaller than the actual width of this. So this section of the waistband I kind of do like that. We're going to take it and duplicate it symmetrically again. And with the sewing, we're just going to sew this piece to this piece. We're going to make, instead of making another one, let's just take these and duplicate them. We can change the size if we need to. So I'm going to copy it and paste it, not duplicate. You can see it's a little smaller as well. And then we're going to sew this piece to this piece. And then we're going to, once again, symmetrically duplicate this one to over here. And then the stitching should be correct. We'll just check with the edit sewing here. We don't really have to. We can see right here that it's okay. So I'm going to move these guys back to where they will be in space here. And then we can sew in this view as well. So we can actually take our sewing machine here and select this one, and now we got that stitched across to that way. The only thing is the waistband is not sewn to the actual pants yet. So I'm going to move these back to where those can be sewn without being too far away. There we go. Backs aren't too far away, I guess. And we're going to stitch this piece to this piece, and then this piece to this piece, and then we'll symmetrically sew as I do that. So the waistband is a little bit smaller than the waist, than the pants, I mean. But we're going to go, before we do anything, and make this waistband, all 4 of these pieces. We're going to come over here and make sure that we check on the elastic, which we've got to find here. Where are you? Where are you? Solidify. Did they change it already? There it is. And you can check the ratio, how much, and the strength of it, how much that's actually stretching. We're going to go ahead now, and I'm going to just check something here. These are sewn to the wrong sides in the back, so that would have been a tragedy. Actually, they're not. They're good to go. Okay. Let's go ahead and simulate this, and they will snap to him and look pretty good. I'm surprised that looks as good as it does already. That worked very well. So that's a pair of pretty simple pajama bottoms. I think the elastic is a little tight. It's getting a little funky there. So we'll stop the simulation. I'm going to flip these as well because they're backwards inside out. We just do the flip normal on those. Flip the normal on these, and try to make the waistband a little bit more appropriate. These feel a little tight also around the upper part. Let's see what's happening here. Something's not real happy with me here. That's evening out some. You got to give it a little time sometimes to sort itself. I think I'm also going to probably strengthen these. You can make them a little stiffer than the rest of it, which sometimes really helps lay them out better once they work out their problems. So let's just stop that for the moment. We're going to edit our pattern here. This will do this symmetrically. We'll just kind of widen out the top a little bit. I'm also going to widen out the waistband a little bit. I'm going to do the same for the back. Probably make these more 90 degree. Widen this out just slightly. I'm going to move this piece over to kind of see where it's at and do these again. Simulate once more. See what happens here. They're looking a little better. Still a bit strange in my opinion. I'm not sure why this doesn't fit as well as I would expect. Why it's having a problem with the waistband, which is kind of weird looking to me. I don't know what's going on with it. But this is not bad. I think I want to make them a little bit longer in the leg now that I see what's going on here. So I'm going to take this job and shove it. Take this and pull these down. Whoops. Not that. I want to take the, there we go, that and pull it down about that much farther. And then I have to make sure that this and this are the same length. So to do that, I am going to check the length. This is 452.2. This one now needs to be 452.2. And we need to make sure that, yeah, that looks right. And then this will just need to do one of these numbers. And that will be 332.2. And we got to change this one as well. 332.2. Making sure that that looks like it's in the appropriate direction, which that is there. And now we resimulate. Those should be able to sag over the feet real quick. I'm just going to pull them up so they're not running through the feet like that. Oops, I pulled that one through. Let's just fix that real quick. Oh no. Let's just fix that more real quick. There we go. Sometimes you get it penetrating through the leg by accident, and just pull it around until it fixes itself like so. I think that's all right. Not real happy with this waistband yet, though. There's something going on. It may just be too tight or not tight enough. So up the strength on it, and maybe it's just too much. We'll just knock it back to about there. We'll take the ratio back a little more. Kind of want it to stand up straight, though. Doesn't seem like it really wants to do that right off the bat. I think it's got to do with the way these are fitting across the back here. Might be too wide across the back. That's a matter of just taking that particular piece, moving it over, and redoing it. And it looks like that's too small, which makes perfect sense. So a little wider. Get that back for now. They do look to be bunching up there. So I'm gonna now take these, grab all the tops, and this may be a better way of handling this, just the two tops, I guess. bring this down about half the height and go ahead and do it again with our simulation. That probably looks a bit better. It didn't need to have a big wide waistband at the top anyway. I think that's working okay. That looks pretty appropriate in my opinion. Standard pajama bottoms, I think. I'm going to also make the particle distance on these 10, which you will automatically see. Let me just go ahead and undo this and select all 4 of these guys. If we make the particle distance 10, it'll be a lot more high resolution fabric, which means it'll hang a little nicer. And then once it's done and looks good, I will freeze those. And hopefully they will just look nicer all the way around. See, they just have a nicer overall flow there. They hang more naturally. Gonna pull these down to where the wrinkle happens a little more toward the bottom. I think that's okay. Looks pretty good overall. So now I'm going to take those pieces and freeze them to where they will not move. We're going to do the same with the waistband pieces. Freeze those to where they will not move. That way I can do the shirt and everything should be really hunky-dory. Old man phrase there, by the way.
I was just thinking of that phrase.
Right. Alrighty, so here we go. Let's see if we got any. Okay, no, we don't. And I'm going to start out with polygon again. And this will be for a t-shirt. Now there is a pre-built t-shirt here that I probably should use. Let me just pull it over and show you what it looks like. Oh, can't do that. I'm going to have to build one. Alright, so how this goes is I will basically make a polygon that will basically go from here to here and from about here to here, here to here, and to here. We want to add some curvature in the armpit, or that part of the, and then curvature here, like so. And then I want to make another polygon which will act as our sleeve, and that will basically go from here to here. I'm just going to do it like this. Now what I'm going to do is adjust the, I'm going to make a little bit of curve here just so I can jump into this and have handles now for this here. You can pull these around as need be. This is to give this a curve like so, and this is going to be kind of cool here where I can take this particular line and I should be able to do what's called an unfold. Boom, and it'll duplicate that out like so. Also want to take this and pull it to where this is pretty straight. We want to take this line also and do an unfold on it. And I will probably, and these will have to come down to be more straight. And I will probably make this longer. I'm saying probably while I know that I absolutely am going to make this longer. I don't need these points here in the middle anymore. Well, that one I will. I don't need this point here in the middle anymore, and I'm just going to pull this a lot longer like so. These might need to be wider, and this particular curve here should probably be a little more like so. Okay. More than likely, I should have probably waited to unfold that. And the way you can go back and fix that is just select these particular points, delete them. Add a point here. So I've made problems for myself now. Add a point or split line like right there. And now I can move this down to where I want. You know, somewhere like this, I think, along that line about. Somewhere there. And yeah, right about there. And now I can take this because it's like so, and I can unfold along this line. But I think I'm going to duplicate it and make my backside first. Real simple to just duplicate. I'm just trying to show you a couple different ways to do this. So if I copy it and paste it here, we can just stick it where we want. I'm going to put it up here because it's the back side for now. This one's already been unfolded, so it can get eventually duplicated over. But another way to do what I was doing here is to do the symmetric pattern. Do a symmetric pattern here as well. You now have the front and back pieces. I'm not over here in this view. I'm just going to move these guys to the back in preparation for getting them all stitched together. I'm going to separate these out just a little bit so we can see what's going on. And I'm going to pull those closer to the body. I always do that just to ensure that nothing goes crazy when it snaps together. Another thing I'm going to do with this sleeve is rotate it around. We may be remaking this sleeve shortly because of the way that it may snap to the arm. We may have no problems with it, but if it does something weird, I'll have to make it in two pieces and then basically delete the seam between those two pieces depending upon what happens. Alright, so this can be here like this now. And what I will do is obviously dupe this over. So we'll go duplicate with sewing, even though there is none. And these two halves, a t-shirt does not have a seam running down the middle, and this is what I was going to show you. So basically, I can take this piece and this piece. I believe I can do it from here. If not, I'll have to do it in the edit. Okay, we'll do it in the edit. Where I take this seam and I go merge, and it'll actually put those two together with a fold line in the middle instead of a seam line. And basically it's now one piece of fabric. So once you get one half perfect, you duplicate it and then merge them together and all should be well. Now if I have any other problems with it, it's probably going to be more of an issue having it as one piece than it would be if there were two, but hey, you know. So we're just going to merge that one together too on the back. So now we also have a single piece back like a t-shirt really is. I should have probably waited until everything was fitted and looked perfect before I did that. But hey, I'm living on the edge. So we're going to now free sew this because I don't know the links between here and here being perfect. So we're just going to go from here to here. And we're going to go from here to here like so. I'm going to go from the armpit up in the back, from the armpit up in the back. And those are all good to go, but we do need to segment sew this to this. Boom. We need to segment sew this to this. And everything now, if you look in our little view here, should be correct, except for the undersides of the arms need to be sewn to each other as well. So with segment sewing on, we just go boom, boom, and that's good to go. And hopefully, I probably should have waited on those because they're going to try and bunch up when they fall here. So let's go ahead and just see what happens here. We can pull these around where they fall a little better around the arm like that, and then we can sew them once they're in a better position. So that works. And we will have to change the shape of the collar because it's the exact same in the front and back, which it should never be. And first of all, though, I'm going to go ahead and sew those undersides of those arms and simulate. So now those are stitched up underneath as well. And let's go ahead and fix the front and backs of the collar here. The back of collar should always be higher up. So we can start with that. Like so. And I don't think that's going to change the fitting of the front, but the back of that model is good to go now. So now we need to take the front and make that one a lot more of a dip, kind of like people I've known in my life. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and do that. Now we're gonna go ahead and bring out this, and I think the underarm should be a little wider. I want this shirt to be a little bit looser overall, because right now it's a bit of a feels a bit tight. The arms, as far as I can tell, they're not bad, but it looks like we have more fabric on the torso piece than we do on the arm piece, I think. That's just a guess. So I'm going to check the length. That's 109. That's 106. It's not bad. Trying to figure, let's go ahead and make the arms a little bit wider. It's quite a bit wider, but. And we're going to go with a 125.1. This is going to have to come out to match that a little bit better. So we'll go approximately like that. Let's go ahead and make it wider at the base too. And see where we get now with this. They're going to fit a little bit looser and better. Something a little strange where these meet there. One thing I don't want to do is have a peak right there in the underarm, so we'll select this, and you say that's going down. We want that to be more of a 90-degree point. Just these little tweaks can make a lot of difference when we start getting them to lay a little better. So this still is in a very crude place because our particle distance is 20. We're going to have to go ahead, I think, for the shirt, just to see how it's really going to lay and make our particle distance 10. Let me find it here again. Where did it go? There we go. And this will give us a little more refined fabric here to work with. See a better version of the shirt, basically. Also, we don't want this inhibiting with anything from the layer underneath. So a big rule here is they have to be on different layers. So the pants are on 0. We'll put this one on 1. We just need to change it back before we export. And now there should be no problems between that layer and this one. I think the sleeves probably, just trying to figure what's going on there. I think the back is not wide enough, which obviously it's not. So let's go ahead and just work that out. I'm going to see what the bottom width of that is. That's 130. Yeah, that's quite a bit bigger. So we'll just go ahead and do the same in the back here. Build these out. Here, this is a 122.1. We'll see if I can match that pretty good. Somewhere there is close enough. We'll see how this all fits now that it's more even front to back. This looks a lot better. That's working quite a bit better. And now we need to make some seams. I think I want to make the shirt sleeves a little bit longer as well. Those feel a little bit short to me. So it's just a matter of taking these. I'm going to get rid of this point on both those. And now we can take these guys and just pull them out. They're going to be now 83. So that kept. And that looks a little more natural. I like that a lot better. Okay, and then we're going to cut and sew some hems, basically, on these dudes as well. I think I'm going to make the shoulder pieces a little bit wider, too. That feels a little narrow to me. So this is going to be a 44.7. This also needs to be approximately the same. Close enough there. Let's go ahead and give that a go, and that should relax the tops of the arms there quite a bit in comparison. I don't know what's going on with this shoulder still. It's got a bit of a peak that the other one doesn't, and I don't know why. They should both be exactly the same. Let's just pull these a little flatter. Perhaps that will help slightly. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So what I mean about the collar and the hems is I want to create an internal line that runs essentially, actually I don't want to do that. I want to offset a line from here internally. So we're going to create a offset as an internal line, and basically I'm going to go 7 millimeters away from the edge, and just do the one, and we'll have this line now, and we're going to take that line and we're going to cut it apart and sew it back together all in one. And so on the back side we'll have this seam here that it's a lot easier to see on the white here in a minute. We're going to do the same thing to the front collar. I'm just going to go offset as internal line, leave it at 7, say OK, and then we're going to select all this business. And cut and sew that. Oops, didn't do everything. So we have to do everything. Hang on. I just want to select it like that. That, not that. Make sure this middle one is also selected, hopefully. Don't know if I can. Internal line, good. And we'll cut and sew apart that one. Cut apart and sew that one. So now we have this seam that is now the neck band. It's a good name for a rock band, neck band. Okay, so on the bottom, I'm just going to go ahead. You can see this is not perpendicular here. I'm going to go ahead and pull that straight out to where it is. We'll re-simulate that in a minute. We're going to take this line, we're going to do the same thing where we're going to do offset as an internal at 7, and then we're going to take that internal line and cut and sew, and it'll do the same thing there. We have a band around the bottom, and also on our sleeves we're going to offset at 7, and we're going to take that internal and cut and sew it, and that puts our little bands on everything, but they're not thick enough. So what we're going to do, let's come back here, and all these pieces, I'm going to select the ones all on the left of our screen, and I'm going to do a layer clone over, which is basically going to create a copy of these and stack them up on themselves, if that makes sense. And so now we have this new version over the top of the other ones, and I'm going to do it again, so we have 3 of those, and it'll give us a little bit of a thickness look to it that may or may not transfer over to Blender. We'll find out, and if not, we'll just add a solidify modifier to these parts and it'll thicken them up. So layer clone over there as well. And now in here, that may be too much. Let's simulate and see. Might be a little too thick in here. I think it's probably okay though. And I do still have to do this side separately because it doesn't do it symmetrically. So a way I can do that is to just take these and make oh, well, I guess you can't. So that's fine. We'll just do this layer clone over here and another one right on top of it. I usually do only 2, but why not do a couple? And we're just going to do 1 on the waistband of the pants too, just for the heck of it. And the bottoms of the pants probably need this same thing done now that I think about it. They are frozen right now, but it will still work. Let's just go with offset as an internal line, 7, and we have the internal line. Then we take that line and cut and sew like that. And then, of course, we can take these and layer clone over. Boom. And we'll do the same on the other side. And those are good to go. So I'm going to unfreeze probably all the pants real quick. I just usually freeze them to make them nice and cool in the summer. No, to make sure they don't change or move or anything when we're simulating. So we'll simulate all this stuff back together, and we'll stop, and then I'll go ahead and refreeze the pants so they won't move. And that's how you make those. I'm going to go ahead and flip the back of the shirt normals. We're going to go ahead and include these guys with that, and we'll just flip their normals to where they're in the proper direction. Everything's outside correctly instead of inside out. And I believe that's it for all of his clothes. I'm not going to put socks on him for this, I don't think. That would be cute, but I think it's fine without it. I'm going to go ahead and get all my parts here now. We have to export these out, so for that we need to make sure that we have UVs for these things, which tell the textures how and where they can be applied. So that's something that a lot of people don't know about, don't think about, or forget about. Either way, none of those things are good to do. Just kind of get these stacked on top of each other and in this viewport here. I'm also going to move some other stuff out of the way that I don't want sticking around in there. I didn't mean to move that, but I did mean to move this. We did not do a waistband on the back of the shirt there, so I do need to take care of that real quick. Move these up real quick and then do the waistband here. Internal, no, we need to do offset, right? Right. Bloody well right. And let's go ahead and do it. Offset is internal at 7, and that one of course gets cut and sewn. Do the thing, and there we go. That's all good. These also now need to be added onto this particular layer. We need to also layer clone over these a couple times. We don't have to do anything about them over here. We just move these down somewhat over each other. They don't have to be perfect as far as I know. I'm going to save the sleeves, not put them in this particular UV at the moment. These are the sleeve ends here for that particular one. Those look like they're stacked and they're the same, so that's okay. And the pants can wait also for now, so I'm just going to select all these. I select them out here so that they're all selected here as a group. It's kind of an easy way of doing that. And these, I believe, are for the front side of the shirt, so I'm going to move those over for the moment as well. These will be our back side of the shirt. I'm going to also put in the front side of the shirt stuff. I think I can do this way. Yeah, pretty much. and get those going. Approximately the same. This is just basically the size of the pieces, how you're going to manage those. As far as their being the same resolution, texture-wise, and so forth, how those are all stuck in here. I know I'm just rambling right now. My bad. Let's get these sized up. Get these now sized up. Probably my voice is only coming out of one speaker if you're listening in stereo. I apologize for that because there's some kind of a weird issue. And it's probably because on my audio input capture, I need to set that to mono, which would be great, but I don't see an option for doing that, which kills me here because that would be best. It's probably because I'm panned. No, I am panned to the center. That's a really good question. Not that has anything to do with what we're doing here, but I just thought of it. Advanced audio properties. Maybe there's something that will allow me to mono this out, and that's the application. Audio input capture 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's all it took. Ta-da. All right. So yeah, with those put there, I'm gonna go with the shirt in the same layer, or in the same UV for the shirt. Those don't really need to be that big. And then I'm going to put the sleeves in here as well. Approximately the same size. The sleeves now, I really should rotate these to where they just lay over each other perfectly, or as close to. That will save a lot of room in the UV here, the 0 to 1 space. These don't need to be huge either, but they need to fit, and they need to have the most resolution they can possibly have. Try to move these over here, give a little space for those. These guys should really stack. I'm at least do them like so. Pull them over into here, make them a little bigger because they should be a little bigger. So this would be basically be our UV for our shirt right now. This will all change in Blender. This is just to get it out of here. Strange thing that you need to make sure you bake these, give it a path to go to. This is called, I think I have this in its own. There I go. So this will be new folder. As soon as it makes it here, I'm just waiting for it to create the folder. I don't know why some things are really slow today. This is just the computer in general. Taking donations for a whole new system. If you guys want to just drop $7 grand on me, that'd be cool. Let's see. This is going to be boy pajamas, and inside of there, we're going to have shirt text. I should probably make a folder for this. New folder. Shirt text from MD. And this will be the, I'm just going to call this shirt text. Let it do its thing with that. Blah, blah, blah. The size is this. Yada, yada, yada. And I guess you guys can't see that little, there's a little menu here. I don't know why that's not popping up on your screen. We'll say save. I'm just exporting them out. This really should be on your screen though, and I'm gonna figure out why it isn't here in a second. I think it's because we're using a window capture that's using the specific specific window of the application. And I think if I wanted to, I could add a display capture that would show the whole display when we do that. So let's see. We're just going to add one in there. And now we're looking at the wrong screen. We're going to go back to display 2, and then I can switch that over anytime I like here. So this, now you're looking at the full display. Obviously I need to change the scaling on that a little bit, so I'm just gonna do that for a second. And all I'm trying to do is be able to show you my little pop-up windows that we have going on here. Like, this is my favorite thing in the world. Okay, like this. You can see this window here now. Just have those settings there. I'm going to go ahead and export that out for the shirt. And it's doing its thing. Don't believe I have those selected. I think we're all good to go. So we just close that, and then I have to make a UV snapshot of this as well. And this is going to be for, let's go back here to this. It's going to be just for the shirt as well. And boy pajamas, and we're just going to call this shirt text. I'm going to say UV snap. Say OK. We also have this set up. I mean, it's all good, so we just close that. And then we can export the shirt real quick. Let me just make sure I'm selecting everything of the shirt and not the pants. Looks good to go. And we will now export. Oh, you know what I have to do? Once again, you guys forgot to tell me, is to make sure everything is not on a layer. Everything's got to be on layer 0. So I will now export this as a, let's go with OBJ. Oops, I got to go with selected. I just went with OBJ straight. We need to go with the selected so it doesn't do everything. Export OBJ selected, and we're going to go here to our drive that we're going for, back to the folder it needs to go in, which is, of course, logical. Boy pajamas, and we're just going to say boy shirt or pajama shirt because we might have another one. Boy pajama shirt. Good to go. It's going to bring up another box here. We don't want to select all patterns. We just want to use pretty much what we've got. Single, want it to weld it. All this is fine. It's going to make these textures that we're not going to use, but just let it do its thing. Obviously, this is our UV space here. That's all fine. So we're just going to go save with path. I'm just going to do these in a zip because it keeps them out of the way. We might unzip it if it can't find something. And now it's writing it out. I'm going to wind up moving these over to another UV square, putting the pants in this UV square is the next step. Okay, and this video is really boring because this is a live stream. Just keep that in mind. Nothing special going on here. It's going to take it a second to write it out. Then we can go ahead and unfreeze the pants because we're not simulating anymore once that exports it. So we're going to select all the pants pieces here. There we go. We're going to unfreeze them. Make sure that it is on layer 0, which I'm pretty sure they are. Yep. We're going to move these guys over now to here. We're going to take these guys, put them here. Should probably arrange these a little more. Make them a little bigger. Just kind of do this kind of thing with them. And then we're going to take all of them here and fit it to UV1 like that. That's totally fine. And we're going to do, once again, another one of these. Bake the textures out for another folder here. We're going to call this pants text from MD. Go in here and say pants text. That'll be fine. Blah, blah, blah. I'll write those out. Close that. We will go ahead and do a UV snapshot for that too. Boom, boom. We're going to go to our folder, which somewhere here. There we go. And we're going to say pajamas, and we're going to say this is the pants UV from MD. That's my poem for the day. That's fine. That's fine. And say save. So it'll do that one too. Now we need to actually export the pants. We'll just go export OBJ selected and pants text, shirt text. This is going to be boy pants. And this will bring up a dialog box again where I think everything is set how it should be and looking good. We'll just say okay and let it do its thing, which takes 42 years, which gives us a perfect opportunity to talk about this great new chip. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just going to eat them. Not sponsored by anybody in any way right now. What are you laughing about? I was going to have you come over here and be my dancing girl. Okay, now we're just going to save this file off. I am going to swap our applications back here real quick. Back to Character Creator. And we're going to try to create a accessory. I believe that's what I need to do. The boy pajamas. We're going to try, and I might have done this completely badly and wrong. So we're just going to import these possibly like so. Oh. Give me 1 second. I have to go unzip the files, I think. That's a possibility. Let me also transition over here. Let me find my files that I need to open here. We're going to that one. Boy pajamas. And that's material. Okay, yeah. They were zipped, so we're going to unzip those now. And shirt, pants. And now we should be able to import these in, create, I believe this is how I need to do this again. It's been a minute. Accessory, boy pajamas, pajama shirt. So we're going to remove the one we've got on him and use this one if it goes well. We'll see. Okay, it's there on the ground. We're going to delete the one that we've got here in our scene. We're going to take this one and put it where it goes. Let me see. Okay, this one's completely spun around. So let's go ahead and the center of it's wrong and everything, which is great. This probably would have benefited from being put into Blender first. I don't know why we're getting this warping either, and it's probably because there is no, the transform is in the wrong place. Let me figure out how to move my transform. Yeah, why would that be that way? Let me think. This needs to move its... This might have to be done in Blender. I was going to say... I'm not entirely sure. Blah, blah, blah. Move this, that, and the other. The middle. There we go. That's what we want. So now I should be able to... That's different. It is warping it as it turns it. I don't know why. Let's say lock scale. Nope. That's new. I have not had this issue before. I've never had this issue before, so this is new for me. Why would that be like that? Because I'm kind of realizing if I move this, it doesn't have a problem. But if I rotate it, it totally thins it out, which it's like it's scaling it while it's rotating it. If anybody's watching and knows what's going on here, let me know. Let's see what is happening. We don't want scale. Maybe it's because it's world move. Let's try local move and then local rotation. No, that's still scaling it when it turns it. All right, my favorite so far today. It is middle. The rotation is even in the middle, but you can look at that. It's totally scaling it while it turns it. Why would it do that? All right, well, I'm going to do a quick lookup here. All right, that might be have to be a issue for another day. That makes no sense, though, people. I've never had this issue before. Marvelous Designer doesn't say it has any issue as far as how it leaves it, so this has to be a character creator issue, I think. I mean, I got the... Wondering if I move this to this end, if that helps or hurts. Nope, still got the same issue. Alrighty then. And I do have the scale locked, so it shouldn't be doing this, but it is. That is different. There's no way in here to just say this is the 0. I don't need a rig for it. I never have before. There's a reset 0, but it totally stretches the object out. Never had that issue before. So what I'm thinking of doing, for one, I'm going to save in Marvelous Designer my project real quick. Trying to think while I'm doing this. I mean, it's acting like the obviously the pivot point or whatever is off, so it's stretching it. That's what I'm thinking. So that would mean somehow that when it's importing it, maybe, I'm just going to do a regular import on this instead. I'm going to delete that one. Just going to do a regular import instead of an accessory. Don't know if that's going to make any difference. Boy pajama shirt. Could have the same exact issue. Now you see how this is down there, but that shouldn't stretch it. It should just swing it around when I turn it like that. So maybe it's just a difference of the way that it's importing it. So I'm going to go down here to our end. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to go ahead and turn it, and it should at this point not stretch. So that looks good. Very weird, but we're good to go now. Please, cat. It's not your show, it's mine. All right, so we're going to go here. We're going to rotate this at least. We're going to go 90 here. No, we're going to go a negative 90 there. There we go. And then I need to go a full 180 here. And now we can align this to the kid a little better. And for some reason, it's not in the proper pose, which I don't get because in Marvelous Designer, well, he was in an A pose or a relaxed T pose. But I exported him out in a regular. Come on, programs, get it together. I exported him out in this pose. So I don't understand why he would be in an A pose. Lord, are you kidding me? All right, so let's just try it this way anyway. It's not cool. I'm going to have to adjust his pose before I apply the weights of the shirt or the skin weights to the shirt. That's pretty close, so we're just going to come in here to our kid, edit his pose now, or do a pose offset, I guess. Maybe I should do the edit pose if I can find that. Edit mesh, pose offset, proportion. Where is my pose, people? It's not there. Oh, there it is. So, I just want to swing these arms up. We're going to go ahead and do a I think mirror control. That way these, yeah, can be like so. And we will Pull the arms forward. They're not coming through the back of the shirt. Then that should be okay. If I have to edit the mesh on him, I will. So now we're going to close that out. And it's got a little penetration of the arm there, which isn't ideal. Let me just fix his arms again now. We're going to go ahead and turn the shoulders up, slightly back. And that should keep everything contained and look relatively normal. Close that out. And now the pants. So I'm just going to import them straight. I'm not gonna make an accessory out of them. Just going to go with boy pants. We'll have those, and we'll have to adjust their position as well. For some reason, they're coming in at 90 degrees and 180 degrees flipped around reverse from what I would normally want them to be. So we're going to edit, well, not the edit pose yet, but we're going to take the pants, modify them here, move them around, put I think the middle is probably good. We're going to move them up, move them back. We're going to rotate them this way, which is going to, should be 90 here, so negative 90. And we're going to turn them around 180. And we're going to zero that out. No, we're not. You said zero. No, that doesn't work the same way as it does in Blender. And we're going to shut that cat up. We're going to put these up and back approximately like so. I need to reset my pose for the kid. So that's probably right-ish. Get these up more about there. And try to get the kid's legs in. So now we got to grab him and edit his pose. Take the foot. Unlock these feet, in fact. We're going to slide that one over. Make sure they're not penetrating the clothes at all. That looks somewhat right. I'm just going to go ahead and exit out so I can see it better. The feet. Oh, come on now. What are you doing? We'll go back into our edit pose. Feet need to move forward just a little bit more. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so I can see that not sticking out of the cloth in the back. Make sure it's not coming out in the front. I'm going to lift the toes. Not like that, however. I'm going to lock the feet. Now lift the toes. Make sure those aren't coming up through the fabric. It's about right. That leg is obviously not good, so we're going to try to... Oops. My favorite. This is my favorite thing ever, by the way.
What is?
This not my favorite thing I'm doing here.
What's that?
I'm trying to adjust him to not be coming out of his clothes.
Oh.
It's just not fun. I thought that sarcasm was obvious. Okay, so that's good. Let's just move these over a bit more here. And you can't hear that frustration in my voice?
Oh, yes.
Okay, and that should be okay there, but now we've got the same problem with the foot here. Very not cool. So we've either got the foot coming through the fabric here or the knee coming through the fabric there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the feet down with a straighter leg. That should help us most of the way. I'll push these back up. And we are good to go, I think, on the pants. Okay, that was just not my favorite thing in the world to have to do. And now we need to layer these clothes and run our collisions on them. So first things first, we'll go to our scene. We will go to our pajama shirt. These have to have the weights transferred to them because it doesn't even know these are clothes yet. What's going to bother me a lot is if that cat keeps going on. What I need to do is transfer the weights to these, and I think I messed up because it probably will never see these as clothes because I didn't bring them in as an accessory, but that's because we had the problem we did with that. So I might be completely screwed and have to rebring these in as accessories because it's not giving me the option to transfer the skin weights to them. Yay, that's new. But the other issue is when I try to move them, it warps them out and ruins them if I do that. Yeah, so I cannot transfer skin weights to these because it only is going to see these as props. It's not giving me the option to do that, so I'm going to try clicking on the kid. I don't see how that's going to work because there's nothing about him that will transfer to anything unless it just automatically does it. Normally you have to pick the object and have the skin weights transferred over to it. But that's only if it's an accessory. Not cool. Yeah. So all that work was for nothing. I will have to re-bring in the shirt and pants as accessories. So therefore, I need to figure out why they're warping when they come in, or whether they're not coming in the right direction or whatever. I'm sure that was because when I exported them from here, they were not exported specifically for what they're being exported for. So we're going to go with selected again on these pants just as a test. I'm going to do that and then see if there is a way I can change their axis orientation or whatever. And it does not look like there is. Ah, here we go. That's for Blender Z up. So this needs to be, what is it in here? I don't know what it is in here. What is that axis? It doesn't tell me what my axis is. It shows the colors, but it doesn't tell you what it is. So it's probably Y up, more than likely. So we're going to go Y up, and we're going to see how this works. My favorite. And if that works, I'll need to do my shirt one more time. And I mean, if it works, then it works. But I gotta remember, Z up is for Blender. Y up is for character creator. We're just going to double check here. But the issue is that still that rotation. I don't know if this is still going to work. So we're going to create an accessory. We're going to go to the boy pajamas, boy pajama pants. There is nothing in there. Oh, because we have to unzip them. I knew that. Boy pajama pants. Boy pants. Is this the one? Yes, it is. We will extract those there. So the new boy pants. And here we're going to go and we're going to bring them in. And they come in even in the right position, which is lovely. So once again, we're going to go back to the boy's shirt. Re-export it. Hopefully I don't have to change the UV, but we're just going to go, hey, you. Let's go ahead and export the OBJ selected. This will be boy shirt. Just going to override it. Yeah, replace it. Yeah, of course replace it. The heck? What do you think I am? And we're going to say Y is up. And we're going to have it zipped, so we have to go unzip it, of course. But you notice, just looking at the pants on the boy now, they fit perfectly. They're in the right position. Nothing had to be changed. I didn't have to worry about the warping. So that's all good. All our, having to redo it was kind of crappy, but the beauty of it is it works. And that's what we care about. So I'm just going to go and unzip those. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to go unzip that boy's pants. Weird. Yes, we're going to replace it all. How funny. And now we're going to go back here, create another accessory. This is going to be the kid's shirt, which I'm not seeing. Maybe it zipped it. The pants, nope. Don't know what's going on here. Let me double check what I'm doing here. Boy pants, where are those at? The glue? Boy pajamas? Boy pants. They are in there. So let me double check. The glue. Boy pajamas. Boy pants. Boy pants. Did I overwrite the pants or something? No. Lord. Boy pajama shirt. Okay, let me just double check what the heck I'm doing here. Oh, you know what I probably did is I'm in the pants folder. I need to be in the shirt folder and unzip that one. That's what I did. I get distracted very easily, confused very easily. It's just what I do. Here we go, and here we go. Hey, stop it. This cat is so angry, demanding. She's got food, right? All right, so there's our clothing. Finally. So now we do like these pants. We transfer the skin weights. It's just a matter of clicking a button. We have to say we're going to use the default for that. That's just like a shirt and pants kind of thing. And apply. And now these will take on the skin weights of the body. We can run the collision on them and all that good stuff now. We do the same thing with the shirt, and we're good to go. It's just waiting right now for transferring them. What a pain. It's not horrible, though. It's just part of the process. But you guys get to be in pain with me, and that's what counts to me. Because I can make you feel bad right along with me feeling bad. And get it going. It's getting to be close to being around lunchtime, it feels like. I'm starting to get a little hungry. All right, so I did Transfer that. Now I've got to transfer the skin weights of the shirt. And this basically makes it able to be affected by the bones. The skin weights are basically the bones in the skeleton affect the skin a certain way, and those are called the skin weights, and those get transferred to the clothes, so the bones are affecting the clothes the same way they do the skin. It's probably the simplest I've ever explained that. So just a few more seconds here for the shirt. If you want, I can hide the window capture and show the display capture, and you can see the actual windows there for the what we're waiting for. It's taking forever, so just be 1 second, and then when we move the figure, the clothes will move with the figure. So we should say okay. That should be good to go. I'm just going to test this now by selecting our figure and adjusting our pose. And I'm going to hope that it all moves together, which it does. Pants, shirt, everything move just fine. So we're going to undo. Well, what did I undo? Let me just check my pose again, because I might have undone the skin weights, which, no, we're good. Okay. Let's pull the hands back down to right there. We're good to go. And now it'll be a matter of adjusting the mesh. See here on this knee, it needs to be fixed slightly. Just going to select the pants from our scene and go into modify and edit the mesh so that that doesn't, his knee isn't poking through a little bit. Not sure why that happened. There are worse things that could be happening here with it, so I'm okay with that, if you're okay with that. And if you're not, too bad. Sucks to be you. I'm kidding. So this takes a minute to get in here and do what it needs to. And it'll bring up all of our little points there. And now with a soft selection, I'm going to select, say, this point right there. Going to increase our radius some. And I'm just going to pull this particular point forward on that green axis. And that will allow me to get rid of that skin poking through. And we'll just double check while we're here. If anything else, it looks like the heel over there might have a little thing going on, so we can just pull that out and over. And now, as far as I can tell, we're good to go on the rest of him. There's a little piece right there that could be corrected. Looks good. I don't think anything else is poking through anything else. So we'll click out of there. And now we'll do the conforming of everything. What I want to do is go into my cloth layer settings. We have 1 and 2. This is all we're going to have in here anyway. We're just going to run the collisions on those to make sure that they're not colliding or poking through. You see our little seam edges and everything that we had created. These are not so great in the back, but you know, we're not going to really see a lot of that, especially not up close. Plus, all of that's going to be textured, everything too. As far as the shirt goes here, let me go on the scene, go to the shirt. I feel like I want to run a cloth simulation on that because it's a little bit weird. So let me see as far as all this goes. We're going to just look at our physics here. We're going to activate them. I don't have a weight map painted or anything. but that's probably fine. We're just going to turn down the brightness a lot to where this is only picking up a bit. Hopefully this will work. I'm just going to use like a general setting here for it and run this to see if we can make this work. Wait, map, objects, gravity. Let's go ahead in here, check our weight map again. I'm going to turn this up a little bit more. Doesn't seem to be affecting anything. Collision, weight map. I don't know that I'm able to test this in here with the cloth. Go ahead and remove my animations. I just want to see the cloth physics. And why is it putting the motion back on after I said no? Remove zero animation all. I'm just gonna see. I think it by default it just throws that back on. Okay, well, activate physics, blah blah blah. This should be affecting the shirt. I'm just gonna try something real quick. Let's try this. See what happens. It's probably going to drip through his body. No, it doesn't seem to be doing, honestly, anything. Which I am not sure why that's the case. Probably because none of this is going to work until I get into iClone, more than likely. So I'm just going to leave that as it is. Go back over to my custom content. I'm going to go ahead and remove this motion from this dude. We're going to save him as one of our characters, or as our actors. And let's just make a folder for him. Where's my folder? Create an ability. That's a find file. I don't want to find a file. I want to make a new one. There you go. Create subfolder. I knew that. We're going to call it the Glen, which is the name for this at the moment. And we're going to, in there, right here, save him as the boy for now, because I don't remember if I named him. I think I did, but I can't remember his name. Successfully saved. There he is. I want to take this scene now for giggles. We're going to take this character anyway, and we're going to send him over to iClone. And see how that works. For some reason, I'm having a bit of a issue here. Export, send to iClone. It's not letting me do it. He is saved in my content folder though. So, oh, that's the cloth. That's why we need to save the character. Strange. Okay, so let's go back to actors. It saved him as a piece of clothing, which I find strange. Save this as avatar. There we go. The boy. No wonder it wouldn't send him. And don't know what's happening. ID something was not found, it's saying to me right now. I don't know what that means. Actor. Okay, something is... Oh, there we go. These are some from a music video I'm working on. The boy, the avatar. Now we can select him, I hope. Export him to iClone. And hopefully it'll take his clothes with him. This will take a minute, like other things. I'm going to go ahead and get it close, the Marvelous Designer here, which you guys can see at the moment. Go ahead and close that. We are still putting the boy over here into iClone as soon as that decides to open up for us. That way I can run the cloth simulation, see how he's doing and all that. I also need to probably put these clothes into Blender to where I can create proper UVs for them. But let's see what I can do with the objects as they are and put them in Substance Painter and see how I can make their materials for them. We'll see. Maybe good. It may be not good. Just say we'll see. At the moment, I am going to swap this back to our window capture, and that just keeps you guys from being able to see my browser and anything else I've got going on over here, which I may not want you to see. I am so waiting for a particular email too that has not come in, which needs to as soon as possible. But still no. Still no. And we have here, I'm still waiting for iClone to open. Not sure why it's taking so long. It says loading project, so we're getting there. And it looks like we're there, so I'm going to swap our still loading it up. I can't switch over yet until it's completely loaded, but we are exporting the figure from Character Creator to iClone right now. Just taking his sweet time. There are a lot of polygons in these figures, so it doesn't surprise me that it would truly take a minute here. Now I should be able to swap over to iClone, but it does not look like it's gonna let me, which is not cool. That's weird. I'm gonna come back up to our window here. You guys should be able to see it now. So this is iClone, and this is where we're going to try to work our magic. I'm going to go ahead and close down Character Creator. I'm not going to save the project or anything. I'm going to see if for whatever reason it's so strange how this is not letting me use my capture for, oh, there we go. Now I can throw that on iClone, and we can throw the display capture off and transition back to our thing. Sorry, it took me a minute to figure out why that wasn't working. So here's our guy over here in iClone. It's a sister program to Character Creator. What I want to do is have our physics turned on. Select a material first. Okay, well, we don't want to use any of those. We're going to use we want the clothing. So let's just say none to that. We're going to go to our scene. We're going to, in the boy category here, we're going to find our shirt to start with. Now we're going to move back to our physics. Going to activate physics on those. We're going to open our Wade map here. And hopefully, when I play this, it's not just going to drip through his body. Okay, that's better. But you notice something really weird happened there and ballooned out at the top. And that's a little better, but his sleeves are still a little bit odd. Wonder if I can change this in real time. Nope, not real time. So it's doing something weird. So I'm going to try and knock this down a little bit. It's still not really sitting on his body. And that's because I'm trying to use a general weight map for the whole thing, which is not great. I'm going to go back. I wonder if I can do... I just want to go to their weight maps. Well, that's going to do for the second, in my opinion. It really needs specific weight maps to be applied for the arms, which I don't have made yet. So, you know, it's just doing its thing there. They should be really sorted out specifically. Because the more I do open this up, the more effect it's going to have. But you see, it's going to really start to whack with it because it's not how that should be being used. So we're not going to get our cloth physics in here without making weight maps specifically for this dude. And so let's go ahead and check the hair on him, because that would be cool if his hair had some physics going on it. So we're just going to go with that one. Our way map's going to be, oh Lord, don't know where my weight maps are. Let me see if I can find something here. Re-illusion templates, I believe. Shared templates. That's hair, group element style. Nope. We need some weight maps here, so animator 4, we need re-illusion templates here. Skin set props. Animation, let's see if hair. Let's see now if it's in animation. Pose, where would that be? Cloth, maybe it's in cloth. Shoe, skirts, underwear, coats, body, others. So I'm trying to find weight maps, and I'm just going to go ahead and do a little search real quick. Libraries, weight maps, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. I'm going to go with the soft cloth, sort of faded one here. Guess you guys can't see that. I'm going to go ahead and do this. And let's try and choose this. I don't know if that's going to be too much sloppy weight. See that how stringy his hair looks? That's a little too stringy. So we're going to go a little lower to where it's just really affecting the ends. You can see that there was a little bit of a waver there. I'm going to bring it up just slightly to where it affects a little more than just the ends. Maybe even a tiny bit more. So that's not bad. So now when he moves around, let's add a motion to him. You'll see what I'm saying. The shirt's not going to react exactly as I'd like it to, unfortunately. The pants we might get to be able to do some because they are in the particular longer sort of configuration here. Just try those real quick too. Boy pajama shirt, boy pants. We'll go to the physics for those. And we'll try the weight maps here. And this one we want, like the other ones, so where it's just going to be affecting the very bottoms of them here. And yeah, we've got some stuff going on there. I might want to turn it off for the shirt, but let's just play with it and see what happens. To start with, we're going to check out some animations here and see for fun. Let's see, motion. We got breathe. Let's just do a walk on him. It'd help if I actually select the character, of course, and see what happens. And his shirt just fell right through his body and fell off. Cool. All right, so let's make sure on the shirt now. We go back here and we'll just turn it off for the shirt for now. Go back to my scene and select it. Where's my shirt? Right there. Modify. Turn off the physics and gravity for the moment. So now that when we go, we don't have to worry about that happening. We're going to go back to the motions here. I think I had a motion, but I don't see it. Oh, it's for the figure, not the shirt. That's why. So now he will walk, and you'll see the hair move a little bit there. Yeah. So let's make sure. There's our walk animation. We're just going to slide this all the way back to the beginning. And now you'll see him walk. The cloth of the pants seems to be working okay. Let's just loop this animation by selecting it and going beginning to end as far as our scene goes, and then we'll go ahead and turn on the loop for that, and I think that will work. Do I have the loop on for that? Nope, that's current frame. There's my loop. Yeah, it's all good. So he'll continue to walk, and you can see he's walking a little slow because this is simulating. But you do see the hair wiggling and warping, and so that's cool. It's working. The shirt doesn't have any physics on it right now, but the pants do, and the hair does. So cool. Well, I guess that's the end of the video for now. I'll come back and do another one. Maybe that's not so long. And it's time for lunch. So thanks for hanging out. Talk to you soon.